What's up, everybody? Welcome into the first edition of Max Monday Morning Quarterback. I'm going to have a lot of fun every single week picking out whatever the biggest thing that I want to talk about coming out of the week one, in that case, NFL slate. And so happy to have you guys here on DMW Sports. Again, check us out on TikTok, at Twitter, at DMW Sports, obviously Instagram Sports DMW. Lots of NFL content coming your way as well. We'll be posting clips as things go along. But quickly, let's go ahead and get into what is the biggest thing that I have the takeaway from that week one of NFL games. Mr. Jordan Love, and yeah, that guy next to him, I'll give him a shout out too. About Jordan Love in this Packers offense and ways in which they were able to take advantage of the Detroit Lions defense on a consistent basis last week. And obviously the Lions are replacing Aaron Glenn, going to a little bit of transition on that side of the ball. You got to give a lot of credit. We're not going to talk about it heavily, but the Packers offensive line really did manhandle this Detroit Lions defensive line. They could have been a little bit better as far as the run game is concerned, but they gave Jordan Love plenty of time in being able to deliver these footballs. Here we're going to start out again. This is on the first drive. You're just going to see really good process from Jordan Love here. Starting out on, you're going to see Wicks man-to-man coverage at the bottom of the screen. They're going to run man-to-man. And he initially sends Jordan Reed up in motion to start out and then brings him back in. He says he gets that information to say, hey, that's that man-to-man coverage that I see as an indicator. You're going to see he starts at the top of the screen on that Reed little zig route on the down out. He says, all right, well, that's covered. Then he moves up just a little bit, says that tight end has outside leverage on the outside breaking route. The DB is where he needs to be specifically. And then he says, all right, well, I got to work to my backside dig. Backside dig. Wicks wins the one-on-one matchup at the bottom of the screen, and Jordan Love hits him in stride as well. Once again, gets the information as far as Reed's motion at the top of the screen, identifies man coverage, checks Reed, checks tight end, comes back to the backside dig. Really good process from Jordan Love. And look, he started out this entire game looking to take advantage of what the Lions were going to present to him pre-snap and knowing where exactly he wanted to get to post-snap. Let's get to clip number two. Clip number two is going to be pretty simple. Detroit Lions are going to get into a little bit of a cover two look ultimately with a little bit of match coverage as well underneath. Jordan Love sitting back. Again, offensive line does a great job of giving him time. Going to pump fake in the first window to move the linebacker underneath, and then gets to the second window to Matthew Golden. Golden, again, adding to what the diversity of this wide receiver core is, brings to the table in which they have multiple different options on every single play. But this is about Jordan Love being able to manipulate the second level of the Lions defense. C55 dropped out here. Jordan Love gives him that little pump fake, which freezes him and opened up the angle there to Matthew Golden at the bottom of the screen. Just again, Jordan Love being able to understand where he needs to move these guys. And again, you'll see as well. 55 and obviously Aiden Hutchinson, both are going to drop out in this scheme. They're going to send the four from the middle. And when you have two defensive linemen dropping into the middle of the field, you can manipulate them with your eyes and then also a pump fake if needed as well. And that's all Jordan Love does. He says, all right, that first window, all I got to do is pump fake it. I'm going to freeze 55. And then I'm opening up that second window to Matthew Golden over towards the sideline. Beautiful throw. Great process from Jordan Love. Let's go ahead and get to clip three. So clip three, this is where you take the good process that you had previously, and then you take it in and combine it with just excellent ball placement from Jordan Love. Down in the red zone, there are going to be tight windows, especially if they're playing man or zone coverage. Regardless, you know that you're going to have to fit the ball into a tight space to be able to get the ball into the end zone as well. Jordan Love, since running back in motion, gets a little bit of pre-snap indication. Sees that he's running these vertical routes at the top of the screen, and that's where he's reading it out. Ultimately sees Tucker Kraft get a nice outside-inside move. It takes advantage of that leverage that Campbell is playing with here, and just it's a beautiful ball from Jordan Love, and you have an appreciation for it here on the end zone view specifically here. You see, again, gets the indication of what the running back is doing as far as the motion is concerned. Kraft releases, gets over top of Campbell gets over top of Campbell here as far as being able to stack him effectively. Cuts inside, and Jordan Love right up the hashes. Just a beautiful throw for the seam ball touchdown. And Tucker Kraft, I think, is going to be a key player in this offense consistently. Obviously scored 2 touchdowns in this game. They're going to be looking for him, especially down in the red zone, to be able to make these types of plays. But again, ball placement here from Jordan Love is just absolutely elite. I'm going to play it again just so we can all enjoy it again. Right down the hashes. Beautiful. Just beautiful pass by Jordan Love, man. And that's their arm talent that can separate quarterbacks in the National Football League as well. Let's get to clip number 4. Clip number 4, middle of the field. Hey, Lions are showing a little bit of single high disguise coverage that they're going to end up dropping out into cover two. And guess where cover two is weakest? Right down the seam. I mean, you're going to see essentially a replay of the Tucker Kraft, seam ball there, except they get to it here from a 2x2 set. Ultimately, from you see the Packers design. Jordan Reed runs right up the middle, and it's a beautiful pass by Jordan Love to get it up and down over the second level in front of the safeties as far as where they're looking at. This is open. This is obviously open. Again, taking advantage of the Lions up front. They send an extra blitz because they felt like they weren't getting home before from what the Packers offensive line would continue to give Jordan Love plenty of time back there to operate. Drop out the defensive end. Jordan Love throws it right over the defensive end's head because he can't get enough depth dropping from that defensive end position perfectly to read over the seam ball. Again, taking advantage of that cover two look to perfection. Again, excellent play design, obviously by Matt LaFleur, and awesome execution from what Jordan Love knows. Hey, I understand where they're weakest. I know what I'm seeing post snap. I know where I need to attack, and he executed it throughout the day. Let's get to the last clip here. What this clip comes down to is it gets late into the game. Matt LaFleur's run game has continued to wear down, especially for a Packers team that's playing with the lead at this portion of the game. Then you can start trying to put daggers into, the defensive's heart. You're going to come out, heavy personnel set, play action run, draws the defenses in. You're going to have a classic concept. Hey, you're going to have a go. Sometimes it's a clear out and a crosser underneath to see if we can get something to the second level, and then a late leaker with Tucker Kraft underneath. And the key to this play is simple. Hey, you see what they get into, kind of a quarters look as far as that is concerned. He's pseudo cover six, but really more of a quarters. And ultimately, this comes down to, hey, if that deep safety ends up trying to cut this crosser, then you're going to the post. If he doesn't try to cut the crosser, then that's where you're going to be able to hit either in the first or second window. Watch what this high safety right here does. Tries to cut this crosser in the middle of the field. Jordan Love knows immediately, I'm letting the post go. Beautiful ball on target to Romeo Doubs. We'll see it from the end zone copy as well. It's beautiful play design for Matt LaFleur. It has been the continual ability to marry what the run game and the pass game looks like, and then it's wearing down a defense over the course of a game in which they're just tired of getting run on, and eventually you get these types of looks where, hey, the safety's undisciplined with his eyes in the middle of the field. He tries to cut that crosser, and the post opens up, and Jordan Love puts the ball on money on time to Romeo Doubs as well for a huge chunk play. So again, I thought that Jordan Love played an excellent game. I thought the ability for him to continue to take advantage of the Lions secondary and the holes that were opened up as well, and then combine it with obviously the excellent play design from Matt LaFleur for Jordan Love to get information pre-snap, to take advantage of it post-snap, and understand where the holes were accordingly, and distribute the football to all of his different weapons. That, again, they may not have the A-plus weapon as far as a guy that's elite in the National Football League, but they have really good guys across the board, whether it's Wicks, whether it's Doubs, whether it's Reed, whether it's Golden, even Watson obviously didn't even play in this game. They can get the ball, obviously, to Kraft as well. Jacobs out of the backfield. They have multiple guys. Their offense is multiple, and it's impressive. They have the distributor as far as the quarterback position, a guy that can get the ball anywhere at any time, and they obviously have the play designer accordingly too. So with that being said, I always like to save a little bit of overtime for these segments as well here on Monday Morning Quarterbacks. Let's get to the other guy as far as that thumbnail is concerned. Mr. Micah Parsons. Let's see what he had to bring on the other side of the ball. So we're going to start here. Micah Parsons, right side. This is the first third down of the Packers season. First third down of this game here versus the Lions. He's going to be lined up one-on-one with Penei Sewell here on the right side. This is the premier matchup we saw the entirety of the day. Good get off to be able to close space. Immediately pushes Penei Sewell back, cuts inside, quick pressure on Jared Goff, forces him out of the pocket. Devontae Wyatt loops around to make sure that even though that contain is, quote unquote loss, that contain ultimately doesn't go to waste, as Wyatt makes sure that he loops around and forces Jared Goff to get rid of the ball. Short of the sticks, Packers are able to rally and tackle on Jahmyr Gibbs, and ultimately that gets them off the field. Look, again, those are the things that you're going to want to see. Micah Parsons taking on the best offensive lineman for the Detroit Lions, shoving him out of the way, creating Jared Goff pressure, guys complimentary pass rush to make sure that the quarterback can't escape the pocket, forcing him off the field as well with a check down short of the sticks. That's textbook right there, and that's immediate impact from Micah Parsons as well. Next play, I just wanted to show really quickly, the result of the play ultimately is conversion for the Lions, but you got to give him credit for that. The big thing is you see Micah Parsons right there next to the goalpost. He's lined up in the A gap as a down lineman. The diversity and the variable places that they will place Micah Parsons to create matchups and create havoc because of the athleticism of their second level and the athleticism of their pass rushers is going to be a key for Jeff Hafley's defense coming up for the Green Bay Packers. And it's going to be so fun to watch. This was just an example of, you're going to see him lined up in the A gap, immediately forces a double team ultimately, as you see. And, look, even though they only rush 3, they still obviously are able to, kind of create some havoc up front. And you're going to see the different ways in which they use Micah Parsons, move him up and down the line, different ways in which they'll send Edrin Cooper and Quay Walker on blitzes, send obviously Rashawn Gary, who had a really good game, and Lucas Van Ness after these guys. It's going to be so fun to watch, but I wanted to just show that as far as the versatility in Jeff Hafley's defense, what they're going to continue to move him around at. Let's go back to a next play. Micah Parsons, one-on-one with Penei Sewell again. Set up that outside move, immediately cross over for a quick win. Have to get the ball out. Jared Goff throws an interception as they're ready. This Packers defense is very athletic, and they're very aggressive. They will take advantage if you try and get the ball underneath. And this is a great play here by Williams for the interception, understanding that Goff has to get the ball out quick because of Micah Parsons' quick win. I mean, that's Micah Parsons once again contributing heavily to a turnover as well. And then the last play, again, third down, Micah Parsons lined up over Penei Sewell with a defense tackle that's lined up very close to him to create that one-on-one situation. Again, Micah Parsons, hey, we're going to get that long arm, and we're going to push Penei Sewell right back into Jared Goff's lap. We're going to get a complimentary pass rush from the other side, ends up contributing to the sack from Lucas Van Ness and Rashawn Gary. Packers off the field. That is the type of impact that Micah Parsons continues to bring from a defensive perspective as well. And then I wanted to include this one because other people will forget or misunderstand that Micah Parsons also defends the run well, especially from the edge. The Cowboys' limitations on the front seven, especially after his rookie year, made it seem as if he was not a good run defender. That's not true. You're going to see Micah Parsons here on the edge, has a tight end and a wide receiver to his side. He's going to chip J-Mo coming out, forces J-Mo to be slow trying to get to the second level as he is a key block on this play, then takes on Penei Sewell, make sure he sets the edge, and makes it so that Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't have an easy way to get outside. And ultimately, that'll lead to a 6-yard you run stuff for the Packers. And again, this is just an example. He takes on Penei Sewell after chipping Jameson Williams, does not allow Penei to get that outside leverage ultimately, and make sure that run is forced back inside for a run stuff. Hey, if you're talking about what the week 1 debut looked like for this entire team, Packers look very good on offense, and I still think they could have ran the ball even better. And on defense, Micah Parsons made an immediate impact, taking advantage of what was a changed up Detroit Lions offensive line. The ability to get pressure on Jared Goff was continual, and it was impressive in which the Packers looked on both sides of the ball. And look, that's the reason why I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. I think you're going to see a lot more of this Green Bay Packers team look very dominant throughout the rest of the regular season. But thank you guys so much for coming to the first episode of Max Marquee for Max Monday Morning Quarterback. Hope you guys have a great day.